Imagine just for a moment, a world bathed in perpetual, relentless activity. A world where no creature ever closes its eyes to rest. The sun rises and sets, but the rhythm of life never really slows. Herds of wildebeest and zebras march across a dusty Serengeti plain. Not for a day or a week, but forever. Their legs would ache, their minds would blur, but the instinct to move would push them onward, without a moment's pause. There would be no quiet moments under the acacia trees, no gentle breathing of a sleeping pride of lions. The air would hum with an unbroken chorus of movement, a symphony of exhaustion that never finds its final, peaceful note. It is, honestly, a truly unsettling thought. A mother cheetah, normally patient and focused, would become erratic. She would chase her prey with a desperate, clumsy energy, making mistakes that a rested mind would never allow. Her cubs, equally sleepless, would lack the energy to learn vital hunting skills. They would stumble and fall, their playful practice sessions turning into frustrating, joyless exercises. The delicate dance between predator and prey, refined over millennia, would descend into a clumsy, chaotic brawl, driven by sheer, unending wakefulness. The natural order would begin to fray at its very edges. The oceans, too, would know no peace. Great blue whales, creatures of immense grace, would swim endlessly through the deep. Their powerful flukes would beat the water without respite, their complex songs becoming distorted and confused. Dolphins, known for their intelligence and social bonds, would lose their coordination. Their intricate pods, which rely on communication and cooperation, would fracture. They would swim into one another, unable to process the sonar signals that guide them. The vibrant, living seas would become a place of confusion and disorientation, a restless, churning abyss where no creature can find a moment of stillness. A hummingbird, its wings a blur of motion, would normally take tiny, frequent rests to conserve its precious energy. But in this sleepless world, it would fly until its tiny heart simply could not beat any longer. Monkeys, usually so agile and clever, would misjudge their leaps from branch to branch. The forest floor would be littered with the tragic results of their exhaustion. The air, usually filled with a chorus of calls that changes from day to night, would be a constant, jarring clamor. It is, honestly, a world turned upside down, a nightmare painted across the canvas of nature. Sleep is not a luxury. It is as essential as food and water. It lets body and mind repair and recharge. Think of a lion, the king of the savannah. After a successful hunt, it doesn't seek another meal. The pride finds shade and sleeps, sometimes up to 20 hours. Their bodies are hard at work. Their minds process the day's events and reinforce hunting strategies. This rest is vital for survival. This need for rest is universal. Consider the swift, a bird that spends nearly its entire life airborne. Scientists found its secret. It can sleep while flying. One half of its brain rests, while the other stays alert. That keeps it soaring safely. Without these micro-naps, its navigation would falter. Even in the ocean, sleep is necessary. Dolphins and whales must surface for air. They can't fall into deep unconscious sleep or they drown. They use unihemispheric sleep. One side of the brain sleeps while the other stays awake. This lets them keep swimming. Stay aware of predators. And remember to surface for air. This is a biological imperative. The brain can't function without these shutdown periods. In the wild, a tired animal is a vulnerable animal. Exhaustion dulls the senses and slows the reflexes. A deer unable to find safe rest will be slow to react to a snapped twig. Keen hearing, sharp sense of smell, powerful legs ready to spring will be sluggish. For the wolf stalking it, this is an advantage. The hunt becomes easier, the outcome more certain. Staying awake erodes the deer's defenses. It is a death sentence delivered by lack of rest. Predators would suffer too. Consider social insects, bees and ants. Colonies need coordinated communication. Bees do a waggle dance to mark flowers. A sleepless bee is a poor dancer. Movements imprecise, message garbled. Other bees fly wrong, wasting energy. Ant colonies depend on chemical trails. Tired ants fail to lay the scents or fail to follow scents. The superorganism breaks down into a chaotic mob, unable to feed or defend itself. Migration becomes tragic. Monarchs travel thousands of miles. They use an internal sun compass. Sleep calibrates that instrument. Without sleep, navigation fails. They fly in circles or the wrong direction, ending in confusion and death. If all animals were to stay awake forever, the world would quickly descend into unimaginable chaos. The delicate balance of ecosystems, honed over millions of years, would shatter. Predators, clumsy and disoriented, would fail to control prey populations. This would lead to an explosion in the numbers of herbivores. Vast herds of sleepless, ravenous deer, rabbits, insects would strip the land bare. Forests would be defoliated, grasslands turned to dust. The vegetation that forms the very foundation of life on land would disappear, leading to mass starvation and the collapse of the entire food web. The world would become a barren, desolate wasteland. The oceans would fare no better. Without the rest needed for focused hunting, sharks and other large predators would become ineffective. The populations of smaller fish and squid they normally eat would skyrocket. These creatures would, in turn, consume the plankton and algae at an unsustainable rate. Since phytoplankton produce a significant portion of the Earth's oxygen, their depletion would have catastrophic consequences for the entire planet. The water would become murky and deoxygenated, creating vast dead zones where nothing can survive. Ultimately, this state of perpetual motion is unsustainable. Animals would begin to suffer from a range of physiological breakdowns. Their immune systems would collapse, making them susceptible to diseases that would spread like wildfire through the stressed, weakened populations. Their minds, unable to process information or form memories, would essentially break. They would wander aimlessly, suffering from a form of planetary psychosis. The birth rates would plummet as exhausted animals lose the ability and energy to reproduce. The planet would fall silent, not with peace, but with the eerie quiet of extinction. It would be a slow, agonizing end for all. And yet, this imagined nightmare reveals the truth of what keeps our world alive. When we look across the vast tapestry of life on Earth, we see a unifying thread. From the smallest insect to the largest whale, every creature is bound by the fundamental need for sleep. It is a testament to its profound importance. Sleep is not wasted time. It is an active, essential state. It allows life to continue, restores balance, sharpens the mind, heals the body, prepares every living thing for the challenges of another day. To observe an animal in slumber is to witness one of nature's most fundamental and elegant solutions to the problem of survival. Koala curled in a tree. Dolphin swimming with one eye closed. Bear cub nestled against its mother. It is a moment of vulnerability, yet it is the very source of strength. But they all tell the same story. Sleep is so vital that evolution wove it into the life of every animal, no matter its size, its habitat, or its place in the food chain. It is a non-negotiable part of the contract of life. Our imagined world without sleep is a stark, terrifying reminder. It shows the intricate web of life is more delicate than we imagine. Not just the hunt, not just the migration, but the quiet, unseen moments of rest hold it together. The silent pause is as important as the frantic chase. The stillness is as crucial as the movement. Without the rhythm of wakefulness and sleep, the symphony of nature would become a cacophony, and then a profound final silence. The world would simply stop working. As we watch the sunset, we appreciate the deep, universal peace that descends. Sleeping lion, not lazy, but wise. Roosting bird, not idle, but prudent. Ancient, life-giving ritual connecting every creature. In their rest, we see our own need for peace and renewal. Sleep is nature's greatest gift, a gentle reset button for the story of life. It is a gift we must all cherish.